got a good handful of folks that are virtual today as they adjust. Okay, so just to put on record, the weather is terrible. And so what we're doing today is we're here, but if somebody's missing or whatnot, we will figure it out and extend grace. Obviously, as all of you are here, I hope your families are safe, and I hope everybody is well as we work our way through this. Obviously, most of us were here last January, and that was a really difficult day. We didn't lose any lives that day, but man, the damage was horrific. So, all right, so let's jump in. So, the virtual people are all here. I've got them muted so they can't unmute themselves, but what I'm going to do is, if y'all will look up at the monitors, I'm going to go over your rights with you to tell you what your options are, and then get you or your attorneys to tell me what to do with the cases. So this is the Spalding County State Court. My name is Josh Thacker, and I'm your judge, and this is the bonded trials calendar call. I want to start out by saying that here in the Spalding County State Court, we believe that each of you, as you interact with this court, deserve the respect and the dignity that you wish for someone you care about. We'll extend that to each and every one of you as we interact with you all here today. Please do not talk during court. Our goal is to resolve your case promptly, get you back to your lives as quick as we can. I assume we're all on the same page that is an admirable goal. So I can't do that if y'all start having sidebar conversations, and frankly, I won't have much patience for it. All right, virtual people, go ahead and grab a pen and a piece of paper. Please don't wait till I give you information and then ask me to wait while you go get those things. Happens every day. Please wait for me to address you directly. You are muted and you cannot unmute yourself until I tell you to. So just be patient, and while you're waiting, please turn off your camera. All right, in the courtroom, cell phones. So everybody here, please pull your cell phones out wherever you've stashed them and make certain that they are off. When they start pinging and dinging and chirping, it is one of the most disruptive items in the courtroom, and it is not productive, and frankly, it results in a contempt hearing. So if your phone rings after this moment, what that tells me is you totally ignored the instructions I just gave, and you want me to have a contempt hearing with you. So that's what it tells me if it rings after this. Don't tell me that. Okay, this is the correct courtroom for you. If you are arrested on a misdemeanor here in Spalding County, you appeared or waived your arraignment date and requested a trial. If what I'm saying sounds incorrect, step out into the hallway. There's civil court, I think, Superior Court upstairs. Right?
Yeah, Coker's on court.
Yeah, Coker's on court.
And that's us. And then child sports at the chicken.
Okay, so there's other court going on, so if you're in the wrong place, we'll get you to the right place. All right, today's what's called calendar call. What that means to you is we're going to go over your rights with you. We're going to tell you what your options are. And then you or your attorney is going to tell me what to do with your case. You may have a trial. There are two types of trials. There's a jury trial where 6 jurors sit in that box over there and decide guilt or innocence on each of your charges. And then there's also a bench trial. That's where you give me permission to make the guilt or innocence decision with no jury present. You may have a conference with the solicitor's office. That's this group up here to your left. They represent the state of Georgia. And if you wish to have an attorney, you can ask me about that. And we'll go over more about that in just a minute. Miss Karen was not able to make it this morning from our Veterans and Mental Health Court, but here's the deal. If you are a current military service member or a military veteran, or you have a mental health diagnosis, and you wish to have your case dismissed, then if you are representing yourself, what you'll need to do is ask for a conference and talk to the solicitor's office, and they will help you discover whether or not you are a candidate for our Veterans and Mental Health Court. We also call that our accountability court. If you're represented by an attorney, simply speak with your attorney. They're very familiar with the program, and they can answer any questions you may have about it. Your charges here in this courtroom are misdemeanors. The average misdemeanor carries a maximum punishment of 12 months to serve in the Spalding County Jail and or a $1,000 fine. A few minor traffic charges like seatbelt have a lower maximum fine, and a few high and aggravated misdemeanors have up to a $5,000 maximum fine. All right, each of you here have the right to a speedy and public jury trial where 6 citizens of Spalding County decide guilt or innocence on each of your charges. Again, you can also choose a bench trial. That's where you give me permission to make a guilt or innocence decision with no jury present. You may waive your right to a trial and close your case with a plea if you so choose. I have no preference. You must knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently choose for yourself. Now, you have the right to be presumed innocent You have the right to force the state to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to cross-examine the state's witnesses, subpoena your own witnesses and evidence to court. You have the right to testify or not testify, to not incriminate yourself. And if you choose to remain silent, that silence cannot be held against you. You have the right to have an attorney. You may still hire your own attorney if you so choose. However, if you cannot afford an attorney, then you should have applied on your arraignment date in the courtroom with the public defender's office like I asked you to. If you chose not to do that, I did warn you at your arraignment that you would need to take action ASAP to secure the public defender's office, or you would very likely hear me say today that you have waived the right to apply. An attorney would help you understand our criminal justice system, explain what your charges are and what the defenses are to those charges, file motions on your behalf, engage in plea negotiations, subpoena witnesses and evidence for your defense, conduct a trial on your behalf and make objections, protect your record and appeal a conviction, and otherwise work to protect you. All right, first offender and conditional discharge. These each allow you to enter a guilty plea without being convicted. However, you only get one of each for your entire life. So, first offender is for everything but traffic-related charges, no DUIs, and then conditional discharge is for drug-related charges only. All right, no-low contemporaneous traffic charges. This is a no-low. We call this no-low for short. It's where you enter a guilty plea without admitting guilt, and it's available on most all traffic charges, no DUIs. You get one no-low every 5 years, and that is measured from the incident date to the incident date, ticket date to ticket date. A no-low will usually prevent points, usually save your license. It will not help you much if you're under 21. All right, if you're here today and you're not a U.S. citizen, then you need to know that any conviction will very likely have a negative impact on your immigration status. All right, family violence charges. Several of you on this calendar are charged with family violence charges. It is in the title of your charge. If you are convicted of that charge, family violence, then you will lose your Georgia weapons carry permit, and then federal law will step in and say that you may never again possess a firearm or ammunition. All right, habeas corpus, weird old law that it's my job to explain to you. Here's my best guess. You ready? Here's how it works. Habeas rights means that if you're convicted in this court of these charges, you may sue Spalding County civilly over in Superior Court to challenge this conviction. Yeah, weird old law, but that's how it works. What I need y'all to remember more than anything is if you have traffic charges, you have 6 months to use those rights before they expire. Everything else in this courtroom has 12 months to use those rights from the date of conviction until those rights expire. You may conference today with the solicitor's office, and if that's you and you're representing yourself, you'll announce a conference when your name is called. You'll remain here in the courtroom, and you'll remember that the solicitor's office, again, that's this group up here to your left, they represent the state of Georgia, they're not your attorney. If you reach an agreement, you can resolve your case. If you do not reach an agreement, you must return to this courtroom for me to personally give you your next set of instructions, which will include signing your verdict form. All right, if you receive probation today, you'll be supervised by Spalding County Sentence Enforcement. There will be a one-time $25 intake fee. And then 100% of all fines can always be worked off with community service work at a rate of $10 per hour. Additionally, there's a $50 per month supervision fee each month until you complete probation. Now, this fee is mandatory, but it can be waived after a separate hearing before me. All right, today is day one of a 2-week trial calendar. All the trials are together on this calendar, bench and jury. This is week 1, and this is your calendar call. We're going to skip a week in the middle, and then in week 2, we will begin your trials promptly at Monday at 9 a.m. sharp. You'll appear each and every day until your case is resolved. We will use 2 courtrooms in the jury trial week and the trial week, and we will reach your case for trial. All right, now this one's a little bit more gentle today. So if you know somebody who is missing, call them and remind them that they had court today. So obviously we're going to be very gentle with bench warrants today because of the weather and everything that's going on. But I posted on Facebook, and I'm going to say it now, that my expectation is that if someone is not here today, they're either virtual today or they will report tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. That's the 2 other pathways. So we'll bookmark anybody who's not here today. If you recognize a name that's missing, call them. Maybe they forgot about court altogether, and you could save them a trip to the jail eventually, and they might buy you dinner. So do that. Okay, so you must let me know if there are any outstanding pretrial motions, speedy trial demands, or anything else I need to factor into the scheduling of your case for trial. Failure to give me this information or a bench warrant will result in waiver. And all pretrial matters must be heard at the first calendar or they are waived unless I specifically reserve them on the record in open court. All right, this slide has been given so many different titles, but I just went with this is important because that's easy. Okay, so here we go. This is important. If you announce that you want a jury trial or bench trial today, what you're telling me is you don't want a conference, you don't want an attorney, you do not want a continuance, you do not want to do a negotiated plea, you do not have any motions to be heard because this is your last opportunity to explore these options. That's the whole purpose of calendar call, is to come in today and explore these options. I have zero intentions of discussing any of those things or frankly anything else other than trying your case when I've got 12 jurors out there ready to come inside that door and try your case. All right, we're about to call the calendar. When I call your name, stand up if you are able. If you are not, wave your hand real high, get my attention. If you have an attorney, then you have nothing else to do. Remain silent, let them announce on your behalf. If you do not have an attorney, then you're going to answer very loudly with the phone. So if you're representing yourself, you will announce either jury trial or bench trial or conference or attorney. And then, as I said earlier, I need to know if there are any outstanding motions. Mr. Shepherd, just procedurally, do we want, as far as the folks who are not here, do you want me just to mark them for recall for tomorrow morning?
Well, since you want me signing the warrants, if I just asked for a warrant this morning, we give them you said you were going to let them come in, chance to come in tomorrow, so just hold off on signing the warrants.
Okay, we'll do that. So what I'll do is on each of these, so I'll just go and make a general announcement that you'll ask for this warrant, I'll verbally grant it, but then I'll recall it tomorrow morning. If anyone's here tomorrow morning, regardless of their charges, I'll lift the warrant.
Yes.
And then I'll just tell the clerk, don't present me with any warrants. We're good there. And then if they're not here after tomorrow, when we do our final calendar call, then I'll issue warrants. Everybody good with that? Okay, so when I say bench warrant, we just won't cross that bridge until tomorrow afternoon. Okay. All right, that way that's cleared on the clerk.
Yeah, that way we can try it too.
All right. Marlene, you good? Okay. All right. Here we go. Gavin Allen.
That's our case, and that's go to your conference. It'll be negotiated, please.
All right. All right, you're good. Thank you. You wore a tie today, by the way. It's a pattern for me. All right. Let me pull up my virtual people. All right, I have two virtual people. All right, Gatlin Arnold.
So, Judge, Mr. Pack came by my office yesterday.
Yes.
He has been called into a trial in DeKalb, I believe, this morning,
Okay.
and he anticipates will last today and tomorrow. So he's going to bring Mr. Arnold in Thursday morning to enter his plea.
Okay. So that'd be the 11.
It's signed up plea, ready to go. He just wasn't physically going to be able to make it today and tomorrow.
That's fine. 111 it is. Thank you for organizing that, as always. All right, Mark. Here. All right. Morning. Clean. Conference. Thank you. All right, Mr. Dutton. Over to you. Christopher Basham.
That's going to be a conference this morning.
All right. Thank you. Back to you, Mr. Malloy. Bob Caldwell. You're good. Thank you, Mr. Caldwell.
Conference room.
All right. Nikita Carter.
Conference.
Conference. Thank you, Ms. Carter. Mercedes Cobb.
Right here.
All right. Well, I didn't see Mr. West. Any update? I think your attorney has a conflict. I have a huge stack of
He has
conflict.
a trial today.
Okay. How about this? If you'll step out into the hallway, call your attorney's office, see if they have an estimated time of arrival. And that'll let me know whether to keep you here or cut you loose.
He said he got a trial today.
Yes.
He told me just to come here. He wasn't gonna be here today.
He wasn't going to be here at all?
No, sir.
Okay. Well, then my instructions are going to be this. Come back, follow me to the end. Either come back tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., or when they direct you to come back. because if they communicate with us after this moment and get a different plan, then follow what they tell you. Does that make sense?
No, sir.
Okay, so you're gonna come back tomorrow morning at 9
Come
a.m.?
back tomorrow morning.
Okay, unless your attorney tells you something different. Come back tomorrow morning, how about you just come back tomorrow morning? Okay, I'll see you back here tomorrow morning. That would be fine. So, okay.
She's got another case on.
Yes, too.
Oh, you have 2 cases? Okay. All right, I'll see you back here tomorrow morning then. 1:10. All right, thank you. Shelley Cummings? Thank you. All right, Galindo is here. We haven't seen Zach.
No,
Oh, you're here for that one?
yes, I'm here for that one.
Okay, I think that one needs an interpreter, is that right?
Yes, we do, but I'll also need a conference with us.
Okay, so that's what I was hoping y'all would come in. I assume y'all could have the conference this morning. The interpreter calendar starts at 1:30 today, but we can go and get everything lined up, if that's all right.
Okay.
So it's just, his native language is Spanish, is that correct?
Yes.
So if you'll come talk to me as soon as we take a break, I'll print the Spanish version of the write sheet and give it to you. So,
Thank you.
so just, I'll forget, so nudge me when I get him. And he's here, by the way. The baby's checking. All right, Gasaway is in jail again.
And I just want to make sure, because, you know, we never take these at face value when it comes to senior and juniors. It wasn't indicated that it was a junior, but that's who we're talking about, right?
Yeah. We've been bit by that before.
I didn't know there was a senior junior issue with gasoline.
I didn't either. I thought there was just one Gasaway.
No.
Now I'm finding out there's 2.
Yeah. Let's see what the people shooting or seeing on the application.
Yeah, I didn't want us to come all this way just assuming that was correct.
What about the people?
The father-son issues in the database is back to me as my religion.
It looked like, well, the
Yeah,
one
sorry,
in
it's
jail,
funny. And, yeah, sorry.
64.
That was unintentionally funny, but it is true.
Yeah, 959. Oh, he's 59 years old.
Okay.
That's gonna be junior.
That's
Yeah.
a big junior?
Yeah.
yeah, the one that's in jail, charges line up with these charges.
Yeah, and it kind of did when I looked at it, but like I said, I didn't want to be the one that assumed all the way to Wednesday.
All right, so I'll take responsibility for updating the database that this is Ronald Bangs Gasaway Jr.
Yeah, if he's 59, that's junior. Believe me, I've dealt with both of them my entire career.
Okay. All right. Next case, Russell Godwin, 2 cases.
That's also gonna be a coffee shop.
All right.
That looks like a duplicate, Judge, I believe.
Well, it does look like it. Just one case.
I think it's just one.
Yeah, I think you just have one.
All right, we'll mark out the second one on there. Okay, back to you, Mr. Malloy. Carrie Goodman.
Caltron.
All right, thank you very much. Quindarius Grantland.
I'm in the veterans and mental health firms. I'm not sure which one.
Okay, so I'm gonna put you down for a conference. I want you to talk to the solicitor's office and say exactly that. Okay.
Is it he's in it or he's in
No,
it?
he wants to go in.
I'm already. I talked to her last night.
Leslie Heffron?
Her name is Lanisha.
Oh, Alford.
Yeah, and she
Okay, we're still in the same position, so talk to the solicitor's office, have a conference, let them figure out what that looks like from their perspective, and we'll go from there. All right, thank you. All right, Hamilton, Tiante Hamilton? All right, I think your attorney is in traffic, so we're okay, so just sit tight. They said, your attorney called in and said they're running late, asked for a conference. And of course, we said we're gonna extend a lot of grace to everybody. Jalen Harden. Jalen Harden.
Well, that's for 144.
All right, pursuant to the earlier instructions, we've decided, we've all agreed on, I'm gonna issue that warrant verbally. We'll revisit it tomorrow before I sign it. Garrett Helmick.
Coffee shop.
Oh, that's yours?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's got about half the calendar this morning.
We're gonna bring it up.
Good job. All right, Brandy, also yours, Hitchcock.
But same outfit.
All right, I think I signed a dead docket on Hughes, according to Erica. That's what everybody has.
Yes, those were dead.
That was the plan.
All right, back to you, Mr. Dutton. Jackson?
For both Jacksons are mine, Your Honor, that's a conflict as well.
Okay, so you have Kendrick Jackson as well?
No, Andrew and Sandy.
Oh, there's Sam. Okay. All right, then I'm gonna go Kendrick Jackson with Mr. Malloy. Kendrick, is he here? Okay, yes.
He's here?
Conference. He's good now. Is that you? Okay, thumbs up. We're good. All right, Paige. Yeah, Dwayne Singleton is out, Jukes is in, he's here, and I put you down for conference. Gotcha. All right, Paige Jackson.
I'm here.
All right, I think I have an attorney, like I said, there's a stack of conflicts. I'm just gonna put it down for a conference. And we'll, do y'all have any contact with, Reeves?
Yes, I got one here. Oh, she's with, I don't know, she's in Overman's office over there.
Oh, great. Didn't know that either.
Hello. Gwinnett Superior, then Spalding State.
Okay.
So,
If you wanna step out into the hallway, I lost your face there.
Right here.
All right, if you'll step out in the hallway, call Overman's office, and when your attorney might arrive, that'll let me know whether to keep you. There's a hand in the back. I'm not taking questions from the crowd this time, but if you want to talk to the bailiffs, you're more than welcome to. All right, Virginia Jones. Virginia Jones.
that's for a bond forfeiture. Bench warrant. Yeah, she does. There's a second case, Judge.
On,
Miss Jones.
okay,
So you're aware it's 23 SR 0511.
all right, Miss Erica, if you'll add that case to the calendar.
That's a simple assault on a person over 65.
Okay. All right, so Virginia Jones is a warrant, but obviously, as I said earlier, won't issue till tomorrow. All right, Kazal is a interpreter scheduled for this afternoon with language line. Oh, I just did Virginia Jones. No, Virginia Jones virtual. She just messaged me and was like, hey, I'm still here, to which I need to say, my bad.
Did you have permission report?
Yeah, this morning, and said she couldn't get out, so this morning was that, that's what I was trying to say. Give me a second. Virginia Jones, sorry about that. That's on me. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, you didn't do anything wrong. That was totally my fault. I knew you were there and forgot. All right, there's no warrant there. She's been there since this morning. Miss Jones, are you aware that you have two cases?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm putting both cases on this calendar. I'm officially moving both of these cases forward together from this moment forward. What would you like to do with your two cases?
I would like to have a conference, please.
What is a good phone number for us to reach you?
404-858-6132.
404-858, and then I lost the last four.
6132.
All right, let me read the whole thing back. 404-858-6132.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Miss Jones, I'm gonna have you go ahead and remove yourself from the video conference system. Sit tight wherever you're at. When the solicitor's office gets finished, they'll give you a call whenever they can to have their conference with you, and then they'll give you your next set of instructions.
Okay, thank you. So I can just go ahead and exit.
Yes, and then just keep your phone very close to you and don't go far.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Kazal is this afternoon interpreter with language line. Laura Hector is also interpreter. I believe that one's an American Sign Language interpreter. I think.
Hector Lawrence.
Maybe. I've got ASL coming today, and I can't remember who they're coming on.
Oh, yeah.
That might be that girl.
Yeah, the girl is taking the sign language.
Mm-hmm.
She should be billed.
Oh, there it is. Spears. So that's this afternoon, not on here. I'm messing this up.
That's not, it's not Hector.
Hector's Spanish.
Yeah, I think he's just Spanish.
So Hector Laura is Spanish, and then Lombera is Spanish.
Same. Yep.
All right, is Casal, Lara, or Lombera here? All right, that's working. So, because they're supposed to be here today at 1:30.
Excuse me, Your Honor, did you say miss on Hector this afternoon?
Yeah, Hector Lara, I said miss, I meant to say Mr. Hector.
Oh, is it?
It's Hector, ma'am.
Okay, 1:30.
At 1:30. I'm the one screwing this up. All right, back to y'all. John Tavius, Maddox. Maddox, no response.
Well, that's for a bond forfeiture and a bench warrant.
All right, it's granted, I won't sign it till tomorrow. Marshall, Juez, how do you say your first name? Juez, okay, names are important. What do you want to do with your, oh, it's yours?
Your Honor, I have a Rufus Maddox. I don't know if maybe y'all have a different first name.
I think he's on, tomorrow.
Soon what?
Yeah, he's
No.
tomorrow.
This is exactly why we do calendar call. Okay. What do you want to do with your case? Conference, okay. Are you aware that you have two cases on the calendar? Two cases? No, okay. The first case is 22 SR 1491. It's an obstruction of a law enforcement case. The other one is 22 SR 1492. It's a fray, public fighting. So those are your two cases. So when you have a conference, you'll be having it on two cases. Do you understand that? Okay, thumbs up. There we go. All right, back to you, Mr. Malloy. Crystal Martin.
Your Honor, she was present. I spoke to her briefly. She said she still wanted the trial, so I had her sign the verdict form. So she'll be back on the 22nd.
Good.
And you have a copy, you have the original, right?
Okay. Kimberly Mason. Ms. Pat-
Conference, Your Honor.
Conference. Thank you. All right, Moultrie was here yesterday and resolved this case real quick.
Yep.
Nobles, Kendall Nobles. Your response?
That's for bond forfeiture and bench warrant.
All right, Stephen Smith is virtual. He has been. And that's my last virtual person. Mr. Smith, I sent you an unmute request. If you'll approve that, please.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Smith, what's a good number for us to reach you?
470-584. Let me get it.
No, I lost it. I got 470-584, and that's all I got.
All right. 6205.
6205, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
What do you want to do with your case?
Conference.
Okay. Mr. Smith, I'm gonna have you remove yourself from the system, but don't go far. At some point, the solicitor's office will call you at 470-584-6205. At the end of the conference, they'll give you your next set of instructions, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. You may remove yourself from the system, but again, keep your phone close. When they call, I expect you to answer, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right, Jamel Stanley, two cases.
President.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. You're waiting for me where I'm gonna respond?
Yeah, which one of those would you prefer?
I'm requesting a continuance and a verbal request of a discovery.
Okay, we'll just talk in a minute. You sit tight. Frederick Stubbs. Stubbs.
That's for bond forfeiture and bench warrant.
Good. Carla Tompkins, Mr. Malloy.
Conference, Your Honor.
All right. Chris Tran. Tran? No?
That's for bond forfeiture and bench warrant.
Good.
That's an old case.
Mhm. All right, so here's where I think we're all on the same page on Watts. Watts is currently in the Butts County Jail. I didn't catch the charges, but Mr. Hazen can't get Kerry Watts out. So what I said we would do is simply I'd call the case, they're not here, and then you would have a motion,
Yes, well, that's for a bench warrant, but no bond forfeiture.
and I would grant that. So I'm gonna issue the bench warrant, no bond forfeiture. When Kerry Watts arrives, we'll do what we always do, which is put him on a jail calendar, notify Mr. Hazen, bring him in, and then we'll address the case at that point. Is that everybody's understanding of where we're at? Okay. And that's what that is. So Watts is in Butts County Jail. And I need to say out loud, Watts also has 2 separate felony cases pending upstairs that are currently unindicted. So Watts obviously has stuff all over the place, so. Okay, Michael White? White? No?
Well, that's for bond corporate bench warrant.
Brandon?
That's the second on this case.
Sabrina Williams?
Here, jury.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Sit tight. We'll come back and talk to you in a little bit.
Got 2 cases.
Oh, yeah. Are you ready to give 2 cases?
I'm willing to deal with all 7 charges, well, all 14 charges, I'm sorry, yeah.
Okay, perfect. I'll talk to you just a little bit about all that. Okay. Are there anybody, let's see, is there anyone here who's a witness who is subpoenaed to be here? Any witnesses? Okay, a couple of hands up.
We've already addressed them, Judge.
Okay.
We've got numbers on. I think they just wanted to stay and.
Perfect, that's fine. Just want to make certain that we've learned to make that announcement. Okay, so, if you, I know I have one person here from yesterday's calendar. You were Mr. Moody's client. What was your name?
Nicholas Squire.
All right. And, did you hear from Mr. Moody at all? No, he's tied up? Okay. Well, then, my announcement will be the same. I was gonna have you either come back tomorrow morning or, go, or do report when he directs you to. So, I don't have any reason to keep you here this morning. So if you, yeah, Mr. Shepherd, do you have any other ideas here? I'm game. I don't wanna, I'm trying to be respectful of your time.
He sent me an email yesterday about a totally unrelated case,
Yeah,
but I haven't heard from him about any of these.
okay. Let's just keep what we're doing then. So come back tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. unless you're able to communicate with Mr. Moody's office and he tells you something different. So if he says come back on this other date, do what he tells you to do, okay? All right, again, just trying not to keep you stuck in the courtroom, so, all right, you were free to go.
Appreciate it.
All right, is there anyone else whose name was not called when I went through the calendar? There's always one or two, it's okay, stand up. Name?
Amon Nickerson.
That's one of mine.
Okay,
I have several that were on tomorrow's calendar.
If you're
but on
representing-
today's, just so that.
yeah, if you're represented by Dutton, you can sit down.
Is Polly Curva here?
Well, Molly Clover has actually waived her right. She lives in New York now.
Oh, I saw that waiver, or I saw an email that said you had a waiver of presence, I didn't see the actual waiver. We'll need to take a look at that, so. Because I can't waive it for, can I waive it for trial? I can waive it for calendar call.
Calendar call, not for trial.
That's right.
If we go to trial, she's coming.
So we
Okay.
got, what about Rufus Maddox?
Same announcement. He was on for tomorrow, and he's the one I stood up on earlier.
Robin Stevens?
Again, same announcement. He can't leave his apartment complex until Lorraine, so
Okay,
there's some kind of flooding going on, so he's on his way.
Darius Thrash?
And Thrash is here.
Is that all your people? So we're dealing with all of your cases today.
That's the hope, yes. I have for the Lamar Superior.
All right. All right, then whoever isn't here or can't report virtually today, we can always have them come in tomorrow morning. All right, anything else? Yes, ma'am.
Yes, my attorney is in Gwinnett County, so can I step out until he gets here because he did tell me to stay?
Yeah, that would be fine.
Okay, awesome, thank you.
All right, Mr. Shepherd, the floor is yours if you want to make any announcements.
Did we have any? Okay. All right, good morning, y'all. I'm Patrick Shepherd. I'm the solicitor, and I'm the prosecutor. This is Jackie Tony, she's the other solicitor. y'all. There's only 2 of us. We know what we're doing. We do this just about every day. We move quick. We'll have everybody out here a decent time today. All right, thank y'all.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Terrence Malloy, and to my left is my partner, Mr. Harry Charles. We are the 2 attorneys from the Judge firm for the public defender. For those of you who've already heard us announce for the same conference, we have your case files in your hands today. We have updates in it, and once we're done, once the judge leaves the bench, we'll call you back to the division and give you that information. You'll see where we're going to go forward with your case. Some of you, Mr. Charles, has already spoken to you, so you know where you're standing. Just sit tight. We're going to get that finished up and get you out here as fast as possible. But for those of you who have not been spoken to, you hear how this is going to work moving forward. The judge leaves the bench, and we call your name. I call your name and you don't respond because you're not here.
All right, and frankly, to jump on that and say it slightly differently, because Mr. Malloy and I say the same two phrases every single day, and here you go, I'm gonna say it differently. One of you today, statistically speaking, is going to volunteer to go to jail. So let me do that one more time, a little more slowly. One of you today is statistically speaking going to volunteer to go to jail. So ready? Here's my instructions I'm about to give you. I'm about to give you the instructions of, hey, we're all human. Most of us had coffee. Step to the restroom, get back to your seats. That's it. Like, that's the instructions. Most of us have coffee, step to the restroom, get back to your seats. Where do people go and why do they go? I have no idea how those instructions become, now is the time to go get a haircut and oil change and mow your yard. But every day, somebody disappears into the wind. My solution to that is issue a warrant for their arrest, hold them without bond, and then I'll go see them at the jail because that's clearly the only way I'll keep them in my orbit. So that's one of you. I'm so sorry, whichever one of you that is, but please don't volunteer for that. So here's the deal, it's 10 o'clock. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna step off the bench until, let's do 10:45. So I'm gonna step off the bench until 10:45. I need to print your Spanish version. And then when I'm back on the bench at 10:45. So here's the instructions, you ready? Step to the restroom, get back to your seats, and wait for your name to be called. That's the instructions. Okay, that's it. Please don't make me sign a warrant on you, but statistically one of you will make me. All right, so we are going to do some pleas and have several other cases that need some housekeeping. So let's jump right in. I'm going to start with, we had Tracy Reeves. Paige Jackson, where are you? Okay. I think I had told her to come back tomorrow unless Overman told her differently. I just emailed Tracy Reeves, emailed me, and Mr. Shepherd, and we're working out when that report date will be, so that one's just outstanding. Okay. The virtual people back. All right, Mr. Charles, what do you need from me first?
I have some please.
All right, let's go through your please. Alan,
Yes.
come on up, please. All right, I have a couple of folks. Oh, yeah, that's good. Yeah. He's in your box. All right, I have a couple of folks out in the gallery who have headgear on that is not religious. If it's religious, we'll need to address it. If not, please take it off. All right, let's start with Mr. Allen. Mr. Allen, please raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, take your hand down, state your full name for me.
Gavin Bailey Allen.
Mr. Allen, you are here today on 22 SR 1507. You're here today because, I'm so sorry. According to my calendar, you are on time for court. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Your attorney has passed up to me this attorney and defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document as the written version of those rights?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, sir.
Page 2?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it
Yes, sir.
and to ask your attorney any questions that you have about it,
Yes, sir.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Have you had all the time that you need to speak with your attorneys about all aspects of your case?
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied with the job your attorney's done on your behalf?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial and this case will be closed? Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Allen, do you have any questions for me about anything before I pivot to your attorney with my next set of questions?
No, sir.
All right, Mr. Charles, do you stipulate that there is a sufficient factual basis for me to take this disorderly conduct plea from November 7th of 2020 here in Spalding County?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
And Mr. Allen, do you wish to enter a guilty plea to that charge?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm going to find that between the attorney's stipulation as the factual basis and the defendant's request to enter a guilty plea, that there's enough for me to take this plea. I'm going to find that Mr. Allen is knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving his rights and entering this plea. I reviewed the recommendation and I will follow it. Ms. Charles, floor is yours.
No question. No.
Okay. Mr. Allen, do you have any questions about anything that I can answer for you before we go forward with sentencing?
No, sir.
All right, everybody turn your phones off, please. All right, then, you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Allen, on 22 SR 1507 from November 7th, 2020, count 1, disorderly conduct, I'm gonna find you guilty. It's 12 months probation. The fine is $590, but you dressed up for religious services today, so I appreciate that very much. So I'm gonna reduce your fine by $100. So your fine's $445.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're very welcome. I dream of a day, one day, where I'm not in everybody's dressed for church. All right, so get your Georgia driver's license back or show a valid license to probation. You may work your fine off with community service work. No illegal drugs, hemp products, or alcohol. You'll be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee, $50 restitution payment to Spalding County to offset the cost of your attorney, 20 hours of community service work, and no contact whatsoever with Taylor Martin. That's the sentence of the court. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 12 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Do you remember me talking about habeas earlier?
Yes, sir.
Remember reading about it on the back of the right sheet right here.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions for me about anything before we part ways?
No, sir.
Okay, I'm gonna pass you off to Mr. Clint. He's gonna walk you out those double doors back there and have you go meet with probation. What's next?
Yes. Kimberly Mason.
Kimberly Mason, Your Honor.
Is she up there? And we got one more. Miss Mason?
Mason.
That's getting better.
Okay, anything I can do
I
to
have a
help?
good chiropractor. No, sir.
Good chiropractor makes a world of difference. So. All right, Ms. Mason, you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, Ms. Mason, will you please raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, if you'll grab that mic, pull it down, and speak directly into it. It gets louder when you get closer. All right, state your full name for me.
Kimberly Geneva Mason.
All right, Ms. Mason, you are here on 22 SR 2415, and according to my calendar, you are on time for court today. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Any questions? I'll just go for this. I'm holding up this attorney and defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document that I'm holding up?
Yes, sir.
Do you recognize it as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes, sir.
Are those your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, sir.
Page 2?
Yes, sir.
And is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it?
Yes, sir.
And a chance to ask your attorneys any questions that you have about it?
Yes, sir.
And because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Are there any questions I can answer for you about anything on this document?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Mason, have you had all the time that you need to speak with your attorneys about all aspects of your case?
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied with the job they've done on your behalf?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial and this case will be closed? Is that what you want to do? I'm so sorry. Yeah, that's right.
You said you did.
Don't want a trial, okay. So the question was, don't want a trial, so you're good there. So you understand that that's what this will do. There will be no trial, this case will be closed. Is that okay with you? And is that what you want to do with your case?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you have any questions for me about anything, including the fact that we're about to plead to a family violence charge, which means you're going to lose your firearm and ammunition rights? Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. You've initialed that, and I have the additional form here. If y'all will get her, I'll grab her some tissues, where we keep that box. I've got a box back in my office too. So, if y'all want to grab it, yeah, that'll work. You're not the first person to have a difficult moment here, so we're gonna get you some tissues, okay? Yeah, there. I don't need those, okay. Okay, so, Ms. Mason, any questions for me before I pivot to your attorney with my next set of questions?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Malloy, I see that you have appropriately marked this as a best interest plea. Thank you for that.
Yes, sir.
That is a good way to get it to my attention. Am I correct? This is a best interest plea?
Correct, Your Honor.
All right, so for the purpose of a best interest plea, do you stipulate that there's a minimum factual basis necessary for this battery family violence from July 26, 2021 for me to accept this plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Mason, you are entering what's called a best interest plea. So normally I would ask you if you did the offense that's underneath it. At your attorney's request, I'm asking a different question. You ready? My question to you is, after considering all of your options, a jury trial and a bench trial and everything else in the middle, do you believe it is in your best interest to enter this plea and close this case?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then I'm gonna find that your request for a best interest plea, given the probability of conviction at trial, that there's enough for me to take this plea. I'm gonna find, and I'm initialing that line now. I'm gonna find that she's knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving her rights and entering this plea. I'll review the recommendation, and I'm gonna follow it exactly as it's been negotiated. Mr. Malloy, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Mason, her reason for her being a little upset, Your Honor, this is, as you can tell, because of the charge of family violence matter. It was involving her daughter. And at the time that this incident occurred, Ms. Mason relayed to me that she had lost several family members at that time, in total about maybe 6 or 7 people in a very short amount of time. So she was in a very grave state of grieving. There was an altercation with her daughter. The pictures show that both parties ended up with injuries, but based upon the witness testimony or statements, Ms. Mason was determined to be the aggressor. That's why she was the only one charged. But the biggest thing is because it's with her daughter has children, the no contact division is not going to allow her to see her grandkids. So that's what she's upset about, because she's already not been able to see them because of the bond conditions to see the grandchildren for 3 years, and now it's going to be an additional year because of this sentence.
Okay, I understand. Okay. All right, then, and I assume this is because the state is recommending no contact on this.
Correct, Your Honor. That and the state, because there was a request for a bond modification that the state would not approve.
Okay. All right, Ms. Mason, so as far as today's recommendation goes, Ms. Mason, I will either follow the recommendation or not. I'm intending to follow it, just so you know. If you wish to have a hearing later, you may request one for me to have a hearing on this one. That's not Mr. Malloy's responsibility, though. That would be yours if you wanted me to have a separate hearing later to determine whether or not any type of contact would be appropriate. I just want to make sure you understand procedurally you have that option later, but I wanted to be very clear that that's not Mr. Malloy's responsibility. That would be yours if you wanted it. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, Mr. Malloy, does that cover all the bases here?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, and Ms. Mason, you understand that as a result of this conviction, you will lose your firearm and ammunition possession rights for the rest of your days?
Yes, sir.
Is that acceptable to you?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, Ms. Mason, do you have any other questions for me about anything before I sentence? No? Okay. Kimberly Mason on 22 SR 2415, from July 26th of 2021, count 1, battery and family violence. I'm going to find you guilty as in that you're tendering a best interest plea, and that is granted. 12 months probation, $590 is your fine. Count 2 is dismissed. You may work your fine off with community service work. Get your driver's license back or show a valid license to probation to sentence enforcement within 9 months, excuse me. No alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products should be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee, $50 one-time restitution payment to Spalding County to offset the cost of your attorney. Substance abuse evaluation within 90 days. If there's any recommended treatment, it'll become part of the sentence. You'd have no contact whatsoever with Angelica Roman or Avarian Smith. As I've already explained to you, you may request a modification of that. That is not sentence enforcement's responsibility or Mr. Malloy's. If you wish to have that hearing, that is your responsibility to either hire private counsel or pursue yourself. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 12 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. I have signed the notice of firearm restriction, which has your signature on it. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I've signed it, Mr. Malloy signed it, and you have signed it. And that concludes this matter. Are there any questions I can answer for you about anything before you and I part ways? All right, well, good luck to you, man.
Kendrick Jackson.
All right. And, Mr. Malloy, just that up here, I'm gonna swap it out for, I got a tissue box. I can't do that, it's too much more.
Jackson? Yes. Oh, you got one? Good man. Oh, okay. I didn't know you had one still. I thought you were done.
No,
Speaking of dollars.
No, I went there to get.
I'll check it.
It's good man.
All that.
Yeah. Well, oh, you want one copy?
Well, we'll see which one he's going to, whichever one he goes.
Okay, hold on. Let me see. The judge.
We'll see.
I don't want that.
Like I said, I thought you were done.
No.
I mean, I've already got to deal with a database called Justice, so I get to say things like, justice is down today, justice is down today, but the toilet paper roll was just a bridge too far.
Whichever one you have next, Judge, Goodman or Jackson, I don't know which.
Whoever you call it. Miss
We're
Goodman.
both? Okay, Miss Goodman. I'll defer.
Miss Goodman. How I can play before.
What's your name?
Carrie Ann Goodman.
Okay. Okay. All right, Ms. Goodman, if you will please raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down, state your full name for me.
Very good.
All right. Ms. Goodman, you were here on time for court today, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Goodman, your attorney has passed up to me this attorney and defendant clear rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
I do.
Do you recognize it as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
I do.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1,
They are.
page 2?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature?
Yes.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it?
Yes, sir.
And having a chance to ask your attorney any questions that you have about it?
Yes, sir.
And because you understood everything that's on it?
I do.
Have you had all the time that you need to speak with your attorney about all aspects of your case?
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied with the job your attorney's done on your behalf?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial and this case will be closed? Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you have any questions for me about anything?
I do not.
Before I pivot to your attorney? Okay, so we're good. So, Mr. Charles, do you stipulate that there's a sufficient factual basis for me to accept this theft by taking plea from February 27th, 2020 here in Spalding County?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Goodman, do you wish to enter a guilty plea to this theft by taking charge?
Yeah.
Okay. Pause. Do you need to talk to your attorney or anything?
Can I?
Yes, go ahead and do that.
Okay.
Yeah, let him flip the mic on.
Sorry. Thank you.
Okay. All right, so I'm asking the question again. Do you wish to enter a guilty plea to
I
this
do.
theft by taking charge? Okay, that's fine. I always want to give folks a chance to talk to their lawyers.
Yes, sir.
All right, then I'm going to find between Mr. Charles's stipulation, the attorney's stipulation, and the defendant's request to enter a guilty plea that there's enough for me to take this plea. I'm going to find that Ms. Goodman is knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving her rights to entering this plea. I reviewed the recommendation, and I will follow it as it's been negotiated. Mr. Charles, the floor is yours if you want it.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Ms. Goodman, do you have any questions for me about anything?
I do not.
All right, you ready for me to sentence?
Sure.
Here we go. Gary Goodman, 22 SR 0428 from February 27th of 2020. Count 1, theft by taking. I'm gonna find you guilty. It's 12 months probation. 415 is your fine. Total 12 months. You can work off your fine with community service work. If you wish, show valid license to sentence enforcement. No alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products should be tested for those. $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee, $50 one-time restitution payment to offset the cost of your attorney. Your case will close the moment you've satisfied your obligations to the court. You do additionally owe $20 in restitution to Gwendolyn Willis. The way you'll make that is you'll pay it to the clerk within the next 180 days. As a one-time payment.
Here.
Yes, and then you'll take that receipt showing you paid it in full to sentence enforcement, and that will be how you show sentence enforcement that you paid it. So you'll pay it, and they'll teach you, they'll go through all this with you. I'm just saying, you'll pay it to the clerk, and then you'll show the receipt to sentence enforcement. So, okay, that's the sentence of the court. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 6 months from today, you have 12 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Are there any questions I can answer for you about?
Yes, sir. So once I pay this off, once I pay this in full, off probation?
Well, it's not just pay it, but once you've completed your obligations, your case will close. So as soon as you complete your obligations, you have the keys to closing this in your hand. And as soon as you do what you're supposed to do, your case will close.
And that's paid fine, right?
No, it's not just pay the fine. It's show a valid license to probation. It's all the things I've just.
Show a driving license?
Yeah, that's all. It's all the things that are on here that I just read out.
I do have driving license.
Yeah, so I don't see this being an issue. I think when you get back there and you go over the list, you'll realize that.
Okay.
You keep saying it's just paying it, and I'm not about to say that that's correct. That is not correct. You have to finish the task list.
Okay.
Okay, if you will step out those double doors.
All right, thank you.
All right, who's next?
Kendrick Jackson.
All right, Jackson. All right, please raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
All right, take your hand down and state your full name for me.
Kendrick Deshaun Jackson.
All right, Mr. Jackson, you're a little soft-spoken. Grab that mic, pull it up, lean into it, and so we can make a good record here to protect you. Mr. Jackson, you're here on 22 SR 1520, and according to my calendar, you are on time for court. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Jackson, your attorney has passed up to me this attorney and defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document that I'm holding up?
Yes, sir.
Do you recognize it as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
It is.
Page 2?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature?
Yes, it is.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it
Yes, sir.
and to ask your attorney any questions that you have about it,
Yes, sir.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Have you had all the time that you need to speak with your attorney about all aspects of your case?
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied with the job your attorney's done on your behalf?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial,
Yes, sir.
and that by entering this plea, there will be no trial, this case will be closed? Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you have any questions for me about anything before I pivot to your attorney with my next set of questions?
No, sir.
All right. Mr. Malloy, do you stipulate that there's a sufficient factual basis as to count 1? Looks like all these occurred on the same day.
Yes, Your Honor.
From November 2nd of 2020, the theft by conversion, count 1 here in Spalding County?
Yes, Your Honor. Well, the receipts are different dates, but I don't know if they're all.
Okay, I tell you what, I've got space to do this. Do you have the dates for each of the charges handy?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, let's do count 1, 2, 3, and 4 in that order. Because probation, sentence enforcement's gonna need it.
Well, he dated them all. Oh, no, he didn't, Judge. Counts 1 and 2, November 2nd. Count 3.
That's 2020?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
And then count 3 is November 3rd, and count 4 is November 3rd.
2020?
Yes, Your Honor.
So November 3rd is count 3, and November,
3rd is count 4. So November 2nd for counts 1 and 2, November 3rd for counts 3 and 4.
okay, what I've done is I've just written those next to here, because sentence enforcement will need that information. So, okay, then I will simply say, let's just bundle them together then. Mr. Malloy, do you stipulate, let me just do the whole question. Do you stipulate there's a sufficient factual basis for counts 1 through 4, which are all theft by conversion, counts 1 and 2 being November 2nd, and counts 3 and 4 being November 3rd?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Jackson, I'm gonna break them out individually for you. Do you wish to enter a guilty plea to count 1, the theft by conversion from November 2nd?
Yes, sir.
Do you wish to enter a guilty plea to count 2, the theft by conversion, which is also November 2nd?
Yes, sir.
Do you wish to enter a guilty plea to count 3, theft by conversion from November 3rd of 2020?
Yes, sir.
And count 4, the theft by conversion from also November 3rd?
Yes, sir.
All right, I think we got that. All right, I'm gonna find between the attorney's stipulations, the factual basis, and the defendant's request to enter a guilty plea that there's enough for me to take the plea. I'm gonna find that Mr. Jackson is knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving his rights to enter this plea. I reviewed the recommendation, and I'll follow it exactly the way it's been negotiated. Mr. Malloy, the floor is yours.
Nothing, Your Honor.
Mr. Jackson, do you have any questions I can answer for you about anything before I say this?
No, sir.
You ready?
Yes, sir.
Here we go. Kendrick Jackson, 22 SR 1520, counts 1 and 2 from November 2nd, and counts 3 and 4 from November 3rd. Count 1, theft by conversion, guilty, 12 months, 280 is your fine. Count 2, theft by conversion from November 2nd, guilty, 12 months consecutive, 280 is your fine. Count 3, theft by conversion, guilty, 12 months consecutive, 280 is your fine. Count 4, theft by conversion, 12 months concurrent, leaving you at 36 total months, 280 is your fine. Counts 5 through 9 are dismissed. You may work off your fine with community service work. Show your valid license to probation within 9 months. No alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products should be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee, $50 one-time payment to Spalding County of $50 to offset the cost of your attorney. Once 12 months have passed, no violations have occurred, and all conditions have been met, your case may close. You have restitution in the amount of $1,519.91, which is due to AutoZone. You will make that payment to the clerk of court within 180 days of today. Are you able to do that? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you'll make that one-time payment to the clerk for that amount, at which point you will be, you'll take the receipt for that to census enforcement, and that'll show them that you've made the payment. And they'll walk you through it if you have any questions. Census enforcement. 20 hours community service work, and that's the sentence of the court. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Any questions for me about anything before you and I part ways?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, then I am going to pass you off to Mr. Williams. He's going to walk out those double doors and have you approach the check.
Can I see Jalen Harden through the double doors?
Open Callaway.
Oh, well.
You said Callaway?
All right, you Mr. Caldwell?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, if you'll please raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, take your hand down, state your full name for me.
Rob Wesley Caldwell.
Mr. Caldwell, you're here on 22 SR 0974, and you are here, according to my calendar, you were on time for court today, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your attorney has passed up to me this attorney and defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you recognize it as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
Page 2?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it?
Yes, sir.
And to ask your attorney any questions that you have about it?
Yes, sir.
And because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Are there any questions I can answer for you about anything on this document?
No, Your Honor.
Have you had all the time that you need to speak with your attorney about all aspects of your case?
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied with the job your attorney's done on your behalf?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial, and this case will be closed? Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right. Any questions for me about anything before I pivot to your attorney with my next set of questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Charles, do you stipulate that there's a sufficient factual basis for me to accept this theft by deception charge from April 14th of 2022?
Yes, sir, I do.
Mr. Caldwell, do you wish to enter a guilty plea to this theft by deception charge?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'm gonna find between the attorney's stipulation and the defendant's request to enter a guilty plea, there's enough for me to take his plea. I'm gonna find that he's knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving his rights and entering this plea. I reviewed the recommendation and I'm gonna follow it as it's been negotiated. Mr. Charles, the floor is yours if you want it.
Okay.
Okay. Mr. Caldwell, do you have any questions for me about anything?
No, Your Honor.
You ready for me to sentence?
Yes, sir.
All right. Bob Caldwell, on 22 SR 0974, from April 14th of 2022, count 1, theft by deception. I'm going to find you guilty. It's 12 months probation, $445 is your fine. You may work off your fine with community service work. While you're on probation, show a valid license to probation. No alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products, and you'll be tested for those. Fifth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 one-time intake fee, $50 in restitution to Spalding County to offset the cost of your attorney. Once you've completed all of your terms and had no violations, you may go to non-report status. That includes completing 20 hours of community service work at a rate of no less than 6 hours per week, as well as having no contact whatsoever with any Home Depot. That's the sentence of the court. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 12 months from today if you want to use your habeas rights. Are there any questions that I can answer for you about anything before we part ways?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then I'm going to pass you off to Mr. Clamp.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Phillips, he's going to walk you out those double doors.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Charles, what's next?
That's it, Your Honor. I think.
Okay.
Will you,
I need to say out loud, I grabbed Miss Porter when we were off the bench and asked her to, yes, I asked her to pull an appointment order for Michael White. He came in, Mr. White, as soon as is here. Mr. White, I'm gonna appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Talk to them, follow their directions, they are very good at what they do. And work with them, okay?
Yep.
Okay. I'm also gonna lift his warrant, that way y'all can figure out where you want this case to go from there. Whatever you need from me, just ask.
Yes, sir. It's on the calendar today.
It is, but y'all are gonna get some room to move. Y'all just tell me what you need and you're gonna get it. So,
Got it.
all right, that's my, yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's come back on record. May I see Shelley Cummings, please? All right. If you will, please raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, take your hand down and state your full name for me.
Shelley Woodrow Cummings Jr.
All right, Mr. Cummings, you're here on 22 TK 1332, and according to my calendar, you are on time for court today. Is that correct?
Correct.
Now, did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
All right. You have passed up to me this self-represented definitive plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Do you recognize it as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, sir.
Page 2?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it,
Yes, sir.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Are there any questions I can answer for you about anything on here?
No, sir.
Did you see on here where, as well as hearing me say, that you have the right to have an attorney represent you,
Yes, sir.
and you're here representing yourself?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to have a jury trial?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial and this case will be closed? Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, this will work. Okay. So, are you 21 years of age or older?
Yes, sir.
Have you used, I am too, by the way. Have you used a NOLO in the last 5 years on any no insurance charge?
No, sir.
All right. And are you asking me to accept the NOLO for driving that occurred here in Spalding County on March 29th, 2022 and resulted in this no insurance charge?
Yes, sir.
Are you also, did you also operate your motor vehicle on that same day with the tag having been expired?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to find that your request for a NOLO as to count 1 is proper, and I'm going to grant it. I'm going to find that with your admission of guilt that there's enough for me to accept count 2 with your guilty plea. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently both waiving your rights and entering this plea. I reviewed the recommendation, and I'll follow it exactly the way you've negotiated. Do you have any questions for me about anything before I move forward in the sentence?
No, no.
Okay, so your sentence is going to be slightly different than the others, so follow me to the end for all of your options. Shelley Cummings on 22 TK 1332 from March 29th of 2022. Count 1, no proof of insurance. I'm granting your NOLO. It's 12 months probation. $590 is your renegotiated fine with the solicitor's office. I'm going to make it my word. Count 2, expired tag, guilty. Also 12 months, concurrent, $156.50. I'm going to delay this. Count 3 is dismissed. I'm going to delay the start of your probation by 30 days. If you pay the fine in full plus $30 to participate in our 30 by 30 program, then your case will close with no probation conditions. If you are unsuccessful, then 31 days from now, your case will begin automatically, your probation will begin automatically, and you will then be required to additionally, you may then work your fine off with community service work if you wish. You'll be required to show a valid license to probation, have no alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products, be tested for those, $50 per month supervision fee, Fourth Amendment waiver, $25 intake fee, and your case will still close the moment you've satisfied those additional options if we get that far. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision, and you have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. All right, do you have any questions for me about anything?
Where's that payment date at?
Do what?
Where's the payment date?
Oh, you're gonna go meet with sentence enforcement, and then they will walk you through it. So, okay, anything else?
No, sir.
All right, if you'll head back that way through those double doors. Now, Mr. Cummings. Right, next case is Carter.
Come on back. Yeah.
All right. All right, Ms. Carter, it appears that you may have the funds to pay your fine, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we may not need to do all the formal stuff here. Give me just a quick second before we file up.
Yes, sir.
You may be able to do this much quicker. Are these, I do not have these tickets. Are they, I'm gonna do something on the face of the ticket. Should I print them and write on them? Yeah, I'm great with that. This one's just a little different, so. Yeah, so this count one is gonna be reduced to chief asked for conditions, and she can pay it. So I was just gonna mark it on the face of the ticket and just let her pay. Does that work for you? Okay. And what I'll do is I'm just gonna print these, write on it, and we'll scan them in. Does that work? If you want me to do it differently, tell me. Because we all know I'm really good at thinking of bad ideas.
You don't even want this, we don't even want to sign it, you're just gonna write on it and she can also put your name to it.
Yeah, she's going right now.
Take that. Okay.
The, what's changing to allow to be payable is count one is becoming too fast for conditions. Pursuant to the solicitor's recommendation. Erica, will you let Erica know this one? I haven't messed that up. Will you let Erica look at that and make sure I haven't messed it up? It's gonna take a little longer here, but it's a lot shorter for you on the other side of this.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Yes.
All right, so the bailiffs are gonna walk you to the clerk's office. We don't need to go through the formal sentencing. Let you pay those two tickets at that reduced rate, and I modified the charge on the face of the ticket for the solicitor's recommendation. So you and I are square. So-
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
If you'll wait in the hallway, don't leave until the bailiffs walk you down to the clerk's office. Once you have your receipt in hand, that's when you're free to go.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was. All right, take your hand down, state your full name for me.
Stanley Leon Jarmel.
All right. Now, is Stanley your first name or your?
It is my last name, sir.
Okay, so your first name is Jarmel.
Yes, sir.
Your middle name is Leon.
Yes, sir.
And your last name is Stanley.
Correct.
Got it. Okay, so, now, Mr. Stanley, when we were doing calendar call this morning and I called your name, you made a couple of different announcements. I didn't have time to address them at that moment, but I'd like to address them now.
Okay.
Tell me in just a quick kernel so I can start sorting it out, what it is you're looking for from me.
I'm looking to get, if you respect a verbal motion for discovery for this case, so I have time to adequately look at witnesses' statements and to be convincing in my defense,
Okay.
and as well as continuance in order for me to be confident in my procedure I need to do.
Okay. So as far as discovery goes, you're certainly entitled to discovery, and discovery normally doesn't even make it to me. You just need to file a request for discovery. There's really no such thing as a verbal request for discovery. You just file it in writing and ask for it, and the solicitor's office will give it to you. So, so as far as this verbal moment, it just doesn't have any impact. You just need to file for it and you'll get it.
Okay.
You just need to say, I demand discovery, and you'll get it.
Okay.
You with me on that?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay. I see here that you're representing yourself. Are you wanting to continue representing yourself, or what is your plans for an attorney?
My plans was to meet with the Jukies, but their building location it had changed and I could never find it. So in the meanwhile, in the time being until I was able to meet with them, I was on representation of myself.
All right, let me check something. Okay, we just. Mr. Stanley, are you aware that you have 2 cases pending before the court today?
Yes, sir.
Your case numbers are a little bit odd. Your first case is 22 SR 1555. Your second case is 23 SR So I just wanted to be very careful about that. So, all right, so I am going to state for the record that after talking with you and having you be under oath, it is clear to me that you will need additional help in getting the Public Defender's Office to represent you. And so I am preparing an order as we're speaking that it has come to the attention of the court that you have multiple cases pending, that you have neither retained private counsel nor completed an application for indigent representation, and that you have mental health and academic and academic struggles that may preclude you from being able to fill out an application that may prevent, from properly completing an application. Therefore, in open court here, I am appointing the Jukes Law Firm as public defender to represent you in both of these cases. Do you understand that?
I am now aware of that.
Okay, and that's what you want me to do, correct?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna do then. So I'm printing that order now. They are already gone, so what I'm gonna do is, I believe they're gonna need some lead time to get this all sorted out. So I'm gonna go ahead. Well, since we've got lead time, have you already filled out the reset notice and everything?
I did.
Oh, let's just go reset. That's
I
just,
did it.
yeah, that's great. Okay. I have signed the order. You are officially represented by the Public Defender's Office. Okay? All right, so if you will step out into the hallway, do not leave until the bailiffs come out. They'll have you sign everything. And who's gonna work with him? Clint, if you'll come up here. And wait for Mr. Clint out in the hallway. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Stanley. They want you to go that way. Ever since that dude hurdled the bench, they don't want me to let anybody come forward anymore. You can look it on YouTube, it's crazy. Okay. That's Mr. Stanley. Appointed public defender. And reset. Okay. All right, next plea is ready. Stevens. Oh, okay. So you need to finish that up?
No.
Okay. Oh, this is Dutton. This is a Dutton.
Okay.
I think it's a Dutton case.
Yes,
Actually,
Dutton.
yeah, as soon as I realize you're Mr. Dutton's, I'm gonna have you grab a seat. I'm gonna talk to some other folks and then come back to you. So he needs to go back out and meet the probation. Dutton will tell me when his people are ready.
Yes, sir.
So, all right, let's move forward to Ms. Williams. Ms. Williams, is that you, ma'am?
Yes.
If you'll come up to the podium, let's talk through what we're doing here. All right, if you'll please raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, and say your full name for me.
Sabrina Williams.
All right, Ms. Williams, you are here on two cases. You have 22 SR 1537 and 22 SR 1538. It's my memory from counter call this morning that you would like me to place you down for a jury trial on each of your charges. Is that correct?
Yeah, but what are those charges?
Okay, that's a great question. Let's review those. What's your birthday?
11/7/79.
Okay.
A little bit too old for that.
Yeah, the reason I'm confused is that you have a couple of older cases that are showing open. I'm trying to make certain that,
What do you mean?
just give me a second.
Okay.
All right, that one's okay.
I haven't been in trouble in a while.
What happened with your felony case upstairs?
What felony case?
23R15,
What's that?
death by receiving stolen property?
Oh, that was 7 years ago.
No, 21R15, 23R15,
What is 23R15? What do you?
2023. You had court this year.
No, I did not.
You're Sabrina Ann Williams?
No, I'm not. I'm Sabrina Williams. No little initial. That's the problem that we had last time when I came here from Oklahoma. That's
You
not-
have no middle name at all?
No, sir, I do not. Am I supposed to?
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. This is why we're talking. So this is exactly where we do this moment. So,
Okay.
Okay, now I'm seeing what you're saying. Okay, so I've got that corrected now. Okay, I've got that corrected now. So you and I are clear that you only have 2 misdemeanors pending. And unlike the other Sabrina Williams who is giving you a bad name, you are correct in that you had a couple of traffic tickets in the last several years that were all minor. Your last decently serious case was a felony 15R132, exactly as you described. So, okay, we're back on the same page. So let's start with your request for information on your charges. Starting with 22 SR 1537, you have 6 charges on this case. The accusation is that you did here in Spalding County back on October 23rd of 2020, and again, this is 22 SR 1537. Did commit the offense of reckless driving, count 1, by unlawfully driving your motor vehicle with a reckless disregard for the safety of persons and property.
What does that mean?
It means that the officer believed that you were committing, the easiest way to think of reckless driving is it's committing 2 or more minor offenses at the same time. So let's say, I'm just going to make this up, I have no idea about your case. Let's say you're driving your vehicle and you're speeding and you run a stop sign. So you're speeding and you run a stop sign. That's a really good reckless driving. Let's say you are speeding and you fail to turn on your blinker and you run through a light and you hit somebody. That's a very good reckless driving. What is yours? No idea, but that's what that is. Count 2, obstruction of an officer. It says that you did kick the car doors of Officer Daniel. All right, count 3, disorderly conduct, that you acted in a violent, tumultuous manner towards patrolman Ryan Doherty. Count 4, failure to maintain lane, and that you failed to keep your vehicle within a single lane of travel.
Is that the first 7 or the second 7? Sounds like the second 7 mixed in with the first 7.
I don't know. I'm just reading the accusation in 22 SR 1537.
Okay, I got my first 7 that they claim. The first date. The second one is a later date, so it should be 7.
All of these are October 23rd of 2020.
I don't see it because that's not.
Well, we're not here to decide.
Okay, you're right. Go ahead.
Yeah, you're getting ahead of me.
I'm
I'm
trying to figure out how they got it cited.
Sure.
Cause this our wrong.
Well, and you declined a conference, that's exactly how you find out that information, is you speak with the state and they explain to you how it is, but I don't show that you want a conference.
No, the thing is that it's been so long since I've been in this courtroom that I don't know how it works anymore, and I tend not to.
Well, I literally just went through the most boring and
Like-
informative PowerPoint ever so that you could know how all of this works.
Okay, so I don't know what a conference is, but I mean, like, having a sit-down conversation, that's fine. But I did ask for one from, the sheriff over here, and I wouldn't mind having one just to see what they have to say.
Okay.
Don't mean to upset
Sorry,
you.
the body language you're reading from me right now
Right.
is that when people come in here and they say, I don't understand how this works, it is irritating to me because...
This is new.
Okay, please don't interrupt me.
Okay.
Let's not do that.
Okay, I apologize.
Thank you. Because I sit here and go through, as I said, the most boring and informative PowerPoint you have ever seen in your life that I've worked on forever to make certain that everybody can both see and hear what their options are, what their choices are.
Right.
And I literally left up on the wall a very huge PowerPoint that said you can have a jury trial, you can have a bench trial, you can have a conference, you can ask for an attorney. You chose jury trial, and now you're sitting here telling me you didn't even understand how the conference option was, and that's frustrating to me. Can you see how that's frustrating to me?
Yes, but it's even more frustrating for me when I can't ask you questions when you're talking.
What?
You know, like when you did when you was reading it off.
We're talking now.
That's what I'm saying. So that's why I'm asking you now. Like I had to ask the public defenders, can I get a conference with a jury trial? Like I don't know how it works. I'm asking. Is that possible?
Okay.
Do you mind having patience with me?
Have you had a conference?
No, I've never had a conference. I just went straight to jail. That's it. Like never in my life. This time I'm standing up though for myself. I've never in my life gone through this.
Did you speak with the solicitor's office back?
I did not. I walked back there. I didn't make it to the back.
Okay. Listen, I asked you a direct question. Did you talk to the solicitor's office?
No, sir, I did
You
not.
said you did not, and then you said you walked back there to talk to them.
She just walked me back there because she was like, what did she say? I was thinking that I was going to be talking to the public defender, but it wasn't them. That's when I came back and asked him. I told him that I didn't want to talk to them. But now that I've asked questions with people out here and I spoke with a few public defenders, they said that I should, talk to them just to see what's going on. I don't mean for you to get all frustrated and bang on your desk up there. I'm sorry, I apologize.
You keep giving me contradictory answers that I can't do anything with. Here's the deal. If I can't figure out what you want to do with your case, I'm going to do something with your case, which is I'm going to put you down for a jury trial, and we're just going to let a jury sort this out.
Well, I don't want you to do it while you're angry.
It doesn't matter whether I'm angry or not. What matters is what the jury thinks of your case.
Okay.
So I'm just saying, I keep asking you very direct, very simple questions.
Right.
You are giving me evasive, non-responsive, and confusing answers that are making me more confused about what's going on with your case than when we started. So you're telling me you never had a conference and that you've never talked to the solicitor. Then you're saying you went back there only after my team all started talking to me.
And that's all true.
And only after my team all started telling me that what you're saying is not true. So here's the deal. This is what we're going to do. Do you want to represent yourself at trial, or do you wish to have an attorney?
I'm going to get an attorney.
Okay. I'm going to note for the record that you were here on this calendar. You were given an opportunity to apply for the public defender's office on...
You got me what now?
I'm going to put that you had an opportunity to apply with the public defender's office on August 23rd of 2023. Did you apply with them on that date?
August 23rd? No, I did not.
Do you intend on applying with the public defender's office?
Maybe, maybe not. I might just, I don't know, pay for one. But I got both cars today.
I show, according to my notes from that court date, that you requested that I give you an opportunity to fill out an application with the public defender's office.
That's when they thought I was Sabrina Ann Williams.
No, I mean when you, Sabrina Williams, we're not talking about Ann anymore.
I did a virtual
Yes,
with you.
I see that. I'm looking at that.
Right.
So you appeared virtually. You gave me 2 different phone numbers. You asked me for a jury trial, and you asked me to allow you to apply with the public defender's office.
And when I called and spoke with them, they gave me nothing.
Did you send in an application with the public defender's
No, I
office?
was in Oklahoma, sir.
Well, I find the fact that you're in Oklahoma has nothing to do with whether or not you've submitted an application to the public defender's office.
I mean, I don't think I didn't do it online. I called first. So I knew I was flying back over here. So I figured, you know, I'll go. But like I said, I got 2 numbers today. And I feel like I haven't lied about anything.
Okay.
So if I need more time, will that be possible for a continuance? I mean, I'm asking. If the attorney that I get needs more time?
I haven't made that decision yet.
Okay.
No, I've never spoken. Who is it? What's your name?
Sabrina
Sabrina what?
Williams.
Williams?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't speak to you today.
No, I didn't speak to anyone back there.
Oh, you're the one that said you wanted a conference and then.
Yeah, I changed my mind. Right.
Yes, I got 3 novels.
Cause I don't know how it works.
And I think the attorney here waiting.
Yeah, that's on the interpreter one, so we'll have,
I don't believe we're gonna need the interpreter because we're just gonna go to the,
okay.
that's my answer.
And that'll take all right, as soon as Judge finishes
Yeah.
this one, we can, because yours is gonna have an interpreter at the trial, so it'll be.
Yes.
Yeah. So that won't be happening in 2 weeks, so just get all that lined up.
All right. Ms. Williams, I'm gonna step off the bench just for a minute.
Okay.
This is the plea of not guilty and a demand for a jury trial on 22 SR 1538, which has an incident date of March 16th of 2021.
You talking about stepping off the bench as in changing the date?
Nope. I mean, I'm gonna physically remove myself from this courtroom for a minute.
Oh.
Take a deep breath that you asked me to take, and then I'm gonna come back and address. While I'm doing that, you're gonna stand right there and you're gonna look at that document.
Okay.
And I'm gonna print this other one and do the same thing. And that way you will have time to look at your documents while I'm back there taking a deep breath,
Okay.
which I think is in both of our best interests.
So,
Nope, we do not need to continue this conversation right now.
okay.
I'm telling you what I'm going to do. And then we're both gonna very quietly retreat to our corners and do those things.
Okay.
Mr. Shepherd, will you take a look at 22 SR 1530? No, I see what I've done wrong. You don't need to do anything.
I thought it was 14. It's just only 6.
Ms. Williams, I'm not sure what part of you and I are not gonna talk for a little bit. You're having trouble understanding.
Yes.
Mr. Shepherd, when I step back, will you please look at those 2 forms that she has, make sure I've got the dates, accusations, forms correct on it?
Yes, let me go grab my.
I'm gonna step up. We're in recess.
Yeah, he's a plea.
But I'm gonna do his plea after lunch.
Okay.
And already gonna be here and I'm already trying to get y'all out of here for at least a short lunch. So, Mr. Smith, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Smith, I'm not gonna be able to get to your plea before lunch. If you will please, log back in at 2 o'clock this afternoon, I will take your plea at 2 o'clock this afternoon.
Yes, sir. And
Okay.
Mr. Thacker,
Yes.
one of the things he said I had a speeding ticket. I got the receipt where I paid the speeding ticket to 191.
Okay, we'll sort that out at 2 o'clock this afternoon, okay?
Yeah, somebody just handed me that, so I just, if he's paid it, then
All right, so Mr. Smith, I'll see you virtually today at 2.
Yes, sir.
All right, you can remove yourself from the system. Okay. That's nice now. Okay, what do you need?
Your Honor, we are not accepting the plea today, so we're just gonna move to jury and.
Okay.
And that's Galindo.
negotiating.
Yeah, it's an interpreter case, Judge, so
So we need,
that one's not gonna happen on the 22nd. I
No.
can go ahead and tell you what.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna have him sign it today then. Hey, come on around, let's get the details sorted out here. So, do we need an interpreter for this trial?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, my side doesn't, my understanding is the victim in this speaks English, but I think Mr. Galindo has limited English.
Okay.
He will need an interview.
Okay, so, so what we'll do is this afternoon, I'll talk to Ms. Ada. I'll find out what her availability is. Can we just simply move this, let's just move this to the April, because I'm so sorry, to the next interpreter counter, sorry. And I think that lines up with a calendar, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so we're gonna move it to there, we'll talk to Ada, if we can try in March, great, if not, we'll communicate. Because she has to get a team together to do these trials, so, so we'll go from there. So if you, yeah, at least you don't have to come back this afternoon, so. All right, so if you'll get the reset notice from Ms. Erica, have your client sign it, as soon as y'all sign it, you're good to go.
Okay, thank you so much.
And we'll just communicate between here and there, and I'll talk to Ada this afternoon and see if she's available in March for interpreter trial.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Do what? All right. Yeah, Claudia. Yeah, so, oh, this afternoon, Ms. Claudia? Okay. All right, all right, what else do you need?
Nothing that I'm aware of. We're just figuring out where we are in a couple things.
Okay. Hardin and Ballou and Stevens, are y'all Duttons? Stephen? You're all Duttons folks?
No, sir.
Robin Stevens is Dutton.
Stevens may be, but Hardin and Ballou are not. Jalen Hardin? Is that?
Self-represented. Come on up, Mr. Hardin. I'm gonna do these two, please, and then I'm gonna cut us loose here. Ms. Williams, I'm not gonna be able to finish up with you this morning. I'll see you this afternoon at 2 o'clock, okay?
All right,
We'll sort all this out then.
okay,
See you at 2 o'clock.
all right.
Yeah.
All right, you're Jalen Hardin.
Yes, sir.
Please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down and state your full name for me.
Jalen Elijah Harding.
Mr. Harding, you're here today on 22 SR 1450, and according to my calendar, you are on time for court, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear that? Oh, no, you were late.
No, I was late, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
No, I was late.
I knew it was wrong as soon as I said that. I'm holding up this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document? Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, sir.
Page 2?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time you needed to review it?
Yes, sir.
And because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Wait, we all walking out. Okay, do you understand, that you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes, sir.
You're here representing yourself?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial and this case will be closed?
Yes,
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
You are charged with one count of battery and that you did cause visible bodily harm to, looks like Esmeralda Rodriguez Espinoza, back on May 22nd, 2022 here in Spalding County. Did you do that?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm gonna find with your admission of guilt that there's enough for me to take your plea. I'm gonna find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights in entering this plea. I reviewed the recommendation and I'll follow it as negotiated. Any questions for me about anything before I sentence?
No, sir.
You ready? Good. All right. Jalen Harden, 22 SR 1450, count one battery. I'm gonna find you guilty. It's 12 months probation, $870 is your fine. You may work off your fine with community service work. Show valid license to sentence enforcement. No alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products should be tested for those. $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee. Your case will close once 6 months have passed, no violations have occurred, and all conditions have been met. The conditions include 20 hours of community service work at a rate of no less than 6 hours per week, completion of an anger management evaluation, no contact whatsoever with Esmeralda Rodriguez, except per court order, otherwise, yes. You have 30 days from today if you want to appeal this decision, and you have 12 months from today if you want to use your habeas rights. Any questions for me about anything?
No, sir.
All right, I'm gonna pass you out to Mr. Williams, and we'll walk you back to sentence enforcement. Baloo?
Take a right. Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Blue, raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down, state your full name for me.
Mark Anthony Ballou.
Mr. Ballou, you're here today on 22 SR 1558. Am I correct that you were on time for court today?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom
I
and
did.
see the PowerPoint that was up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
You have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Do you recognize it as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, sir.
Page 2?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature?
It is.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time you needed to review it
Yes, sir.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
You have the right to have an attorney represent you. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And you're here representing yourself?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have the right to a jury trial
Yes, sir.
and that by entering this plea, there will be no trial and this case will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Ballou, you are charged with one count of theft by receiving stolen property.
I think he's the one that's on you're on daily report?
Yes, sir.
That would, yes, we said we would just.
Oh, this all makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. It took me just a second. I didn't quite understand it, but with that,
They've got good eyes on him
oh yeah.
in the DRC, so.
All right. So Mr. Ballou, did you here in Spalding County back on November 18th of 2020 receive stolen property without the intent of restoring it to the owner?
Yes, sir.
All right. And the owner being I usually open these before the plea, but I'm moving. I got it right here. I'm just moving too fast. All right, the owner being Jessica Lewis.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm gonna find with your admission of guilt, there's enough for me to take your plea. I'm gonna find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights in this plea. I reviewed the recommendation and I'm gonna follow it. You ready for me to sentence?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mark Anthony Ballou, 22 SR 1558 on November 18th of 2020. Count 1, theft by receiving stolen property, guilty, 12 months, $735 is your fine. You may work your fine off with community service work if you wish, total of 12 months probation, show your valid license to probation, no alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products. You can be tested for those. $50 a month supervision fee, $25 intake fee. Your case, I'm gonna go ahead and mark you as e-report now. But your case can go to non-report as soon as you've done what you're supposed to do.
Yes, sir.
So that way you're on phone, you're on e-report now since the DRC is going to keep a good eye on you. And then you'll go to non-report as soon as you get everything checked off.
Yes, sir.
You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision, and 6 months from today, 12 months from today, if you wish to use your habeas rights.
Yes, sir.
All right, any questions for me before we part ways?
No, sir.
All right, thank you, Mr. Blue. You can go out those other doors. Mr. Stevens, you are represented by Mr. Dutton. I'm not gonna be able to get to these cases before lunch. I've gotta give my team a break. So